Joey Belladonna, great to be talking to you. How are you doing?
Just fine, on the road, doing my thing,
You guys are currently on the road with Lamb of God, so how's that going so far?
It's a good tour. It's nice to be with some friends, and we get along great. Good friends, really makes it nice and easy. Maybe a little different crowd here and there, It's nice to see some new people out.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
So how's the crowd digging the new tunes?
Great. I'm so busy doing the songs, I don't get a chance to really take a peek as much as I do like older songs. Cause I'm really you get a little bit more focused on stuff you're not used to doing. So once you get the flow going, we only did it maybe 4 times. Evil Twin, we've done a little more, so I'm getting, you just get your feet around it sometimes as you get going.
Yep.
It seems to be going over good,
That's good to hear. So after a long 5-year break, Anthrax is back with a new album, For All Kings. How excited is the band to have new music?
Always great. As a musician, you want to have, it's always fun to go into a studio and create a song and make it sound like something you didn't know you were going to come up with. And how cool it ends up being, and how fun you like listening to it, and how great of an achievement it is to really record music that's successful enough that people would like, And we do that. There's a great variety on the record. That's what I like. I like that we're moving into different avenues, because I have a lot of good ideas of things that I like to do that maybe we're finally getting a little bit more of a chance to do, on my end, at least for me.
So many years spent making this album, the result seems to be a great amalgamation of groove and melody, like an easily perfected blend of kick-ass hooks and catchy rhythms. Would you agree on that?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. There's a lot of variety. There's always something new on each tune, and it's just naturally progression, I don't think anybody really set out, well, this one has to be this way, we got to do this one this way. It really seems to be quite natural. For me it is too, especially I'll go in there and I'll just kind of wing it, and it just comes out, and you listen back and, wow, okay, that fits, that's nice, sounds good, wow, okay, I get it now. Then you start really digging in, and because I don't do pre-production, so I just kind of go in and kind of throw it up against the wall and see what happens.
So the beauty in this album, to me, lies in the fact that the band doesn't seem to make a conscious effort to sound like their former self, and they're not really afraid to transgress the musical boundaries on multiple occasions. Was this a conscious effort on the part of the band, or did it just kind of naturally occur that way?
I'm going to go with the natural part of it, because I don't think anybody, when you're writing riffs, man, you don't know, at least from my experience, I wasn't there a lot of times when they, like one guy submits a song to somebody and then they redo the idea, or if it's halfway done and it's that way. It's just sometimes, you're right, you just kind of, things just come up and you start forming an idea and you go, wow, this is kind of groovy, or this is fast, and then next thing you got another part that goes with it, and next thing you know you have this tune that obviously, if somebody wanted to do something slow or fast, you might get a little bit more of an idea how you want it to go. But I think it's all natural, really, to be honest with you, because I think we have so many different influences, and it's good. It's really good. We're not one side of what we do. And I think being a fast thrash band, no one even really hears half of what we could do.
Yep. So this time around, the band seems to be almost exhibiting a newer approach to songwriting, combining melodic guitar lines and, the razor-sharp groove attack, as I said before. Tracks like Blood Eagle Wings and All of Them Thieves, they go really well with your kind of soaring new wave of British heavy metal influenced vocals, and leave me with no doubts that you're the perfect fit. How is the vocal recording process this time around?
It's the same as worship music. I kind of show up at the very end of all the recording of the guitars and bass and drums, and we print out the lyrics after Scott submits them to me and Jay, and we go in and have a little bit of a sketch of how it starts, where it would come in, and then I just roll from there, and get my feet on my, get my saddle and roll, and I just hear what's happening, and it just comes out. I don't have any preconceived notion of what I really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just know how the key sounds, and just start ripping over it, and it's kind of neat because, like I said, by the time you start at noon, and by the time 3 o'clock rolls around, I go, wow, okay, interesting. That's cool. Yeah, man, I'm kind of digging that, And by the time I get done, and we don't really sing too long lately. I mean, I'll go until maybe 6, 7 o'clock, if that. And by then, we got something up and running. And by morning, we've already submitted it to everybody to see if they're digging what we're doing. If they like it, we move on to the next song.
Mm.
And it's kind of free for all, which is cool in some ways. I like that. It's like the old school for me. When I'm making up stuff at home, somebody making up a riff, I'm just singing along to it. I'm like, I got some ideas right away, or my idea vocally could be the guitar part.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Definitely. So how was it working with producer Jay Ruston? Did you guys work together while recording your vocals?
Love it. That just me and him. That's the real key for me. I don't have any people in there barking ideas to me over the whole time I'm doing stuff, or interjecting and making comments and stopping you while you're trying to achieve something. It's nice and easy. I don't have any. There's no one around but me and Jay, and it's really, really a peaceful situation. I like that. It's the best thing I've ever had, because you don't want anybody really looking over your shoulder, trying to get in your way from what you're trying to create. Jay's there. Well, we're listening to each other, so we're constantly on it as we go, but we're not. He's not stopping me along the way and going, geez, what's wrong? Or, you got to do it right, man. Nobody's kind of putting you down or any of that kind of stuff. You don't need that,
Mm-hmm.
It's a good process.
Absolutely. So after decades and decades, some voices just keep getting better and better with age, like a fine wine, be it you or Chuck Billy or Steve Zetro. Your voice is just so damn good. What have you been doing over the years to keep it in such great shape?
Well, thank you very much for that. I don't know, I'm not doing anything really unusual. I think I'm really just interested in doing better all the time. I think I'm just really, really have a strive for, I guess you could use excellence, just trying to be really, really sharp and on the ball and digging in more.
Mm.
I sing a lot more because I have a little cover thing I do too, that I go into whole different ventures of styles of music. I'm into the Rush, the Van Halen, the Boston, the Journey, the Led Zeppelin, the Triumph, the Deep Purple. I do a lot of kind of hard-nosed classic rock, and I'm keeping myself, sharp on that end. I get to play the drums, but I don't know if that has anything really to do with it, but it certainly is a good calisthenic for me. I'm not always singing, and I sing at home quite a bit more than I ever did, but I still think it's just mainly I'm just pounding away at trying to make it right, and I feel good about doing that, versus just sitting back and just being happy with whatever I've done before,
Mm-hmm. So you've been in the the music scene in general for more than 3 decades. So looking back on your storied career, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned from making music?
God, I don't know. What I've learned is just to stay focused and, try to make it the best you can. It's just, I love the inspiration of being a musician. I love the whole strive of making something really cool. And I learn from it, anybody that has I listen to a lot of music. That gives me a lot of inspiration. You know, I listen to such different variety of music, and I just stay focused on a musical trend that I like. So it always keeps it fresh. You know.
Absolutely. So let's dive real quick, if you don't mind, into the murky world of metal gossip. The Phil Anselmo White Power scandal has rocked the music world to its cores, and it seems as though Phil is stepping down from his position in Down Now. I don't know if you heard. What's your take on the whole thing? And do you think that what he did was excusable? And do you think what he's doing by stepping down is the right thing?
Honest to God, I've heard wind of it. I've never read about it yet. I honestly haven't even paid attention. But there's some kind of theme of somebody saying something. I honestly don't know, but I can tell you I don't get into the internet reading stuff. I don't pay attention to too much stuff, and I don't get involved with anything politically. I don't really have time to even think about it. I don't want to get into anybody's affairs. I hope it all turns out right. Whatever's happening.
That's really the best way to kind of look at it.
Yeah, I don't have any business in it, so I hope it all turns out for the best. You know.
So back to Anthrax, anyways. Anthrax has given us, many say, to be two of the world's greatest metal singer of all time, in yourself and Jon Bush. There's always been comparisons between the two of you. Now, how do you feel about the comparisons that are made?
I don't, and I don't hear it very much anymore, which is great, because I just got tired of it after a while, because I really didn't want to get into this whole band to have that, sit around and try to be at a variety show. I don't really care about it. I don't even think there's any similarities with us. I think it was a whole different trend, whatever they were doing, whatever they were reaching for, and also I don't even understand why I wasn't even in the band for the longest time. I mean, great that they took on that whole path of the 90s and whether I was right for what they were doing. But I don't think I would have missed a beat or anything. So, and I try to kind of reel it back without trying to make that whole thing an issue, because I could. You can argue with it now if you want to, but I don't want to, because what am I going to gain by it at this point? If anything, I just kind of you'll just see me cut through the tape and keep moving forward. I don't know. I just did. I don't know if I heard anything that I couldn't have done. You know, personally, it would have been no problem for me. No offense to anybody, but I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't have any doubts in my mind that we could have done something quite extraordinary. And it was just really, overall, it's a shame that I didn't get to spend all those years doing what we do now that could have led up to here. So I don't know. It's baffling, really.
I hear you for sure. So in your eyes, what do you think, in your opinion, was the most underrated of all of the Anthrax albums?
You know, the only one that is kind of strange that we never really got a chance to dig into, and it was fast, and it was the most blurry time doing a record, but it seemed to turn out to be cool, and it seemed to do well, but I wasn't sure that album was complete, with State of Euphoria. You know, it still had some legs. It did well, and that we were just doing our thing at the time, but I don't think we really had a chance to. I mean, that whole record for me, even too, for everyone really, I think we didn't have a chance to even get that one off the way we wanted to, but we still managed to get it going.
Nice. So after the Lamb of God tour ends with Anthrax, what is on the horizon for you guys? What are your future plans?
Iron Maiden in South America starting in March for a whole month. Yeah, we'll be out with Iron Maiden South America, and then when we come back, we'll do some one-offs. There's like 4 or 5 one-offs all over the United States. You know, like the Floridas, and then there's Puerto Rico and some of this stuff, and then we head to Europe end of May, into the middle of June, come back, and then go back again and do. So we're going to do 2 runs in Europe with all the festivals. So that'll take us all the way up into August. So, and then hopefully we'll probably headline a come back into the States and headline in September probably. Who knows?
Nice. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you.